This is the last in the series of tutorials about color scopes in Final Cut and how you use the scopes to correct your color. This particular tutorial is on the color curves. You'll find this is a little more complicated than the earlier tutorials, but you will appreciate the results. However, you will need to know about the color wheels or the color board to be able to get the benefit from using the color curves. My goal is to increase your knowledge and to speed up your workflow in Final Cut. If you haven't already done so, please like, subscribe, and press the bell. In a previous tutorial, we looked at color masks and hue and saturation with the color masks. You can combine that information now with the hue and saturation with the color curves. So let's get into it. We'll look at the color curves first and then the hue and saturation curves. To get the best view of the color curves, let's close the browser by clicking up here in the window, and we can show in workspace and untick the browser, and the shortcut is Control Command 1. Now let's select the scopes by pressing Command 7, and we will bring up Luma, and looking over here, let's select the color selections and color curves. And now we have Luma and the three colors, red, green, and blue. At the bottom left-hand corner is the shadows. And the top right-hand corner are the highlights. And if we look over here in the scope, we can see there's our 100 line there. And the whites are quite high in that line. And there is our 0 line, but the blacks are almost missing. So we want to increase the blacks by dragging, or the shadows, by dragging through here until we have them on the 0 line. And now we obviously want to increase some of the highlights. Now what we've got here is a very desaturated image because we've only changed the Luma and not the colors. If we'd like to improve the sky now, we can now look at the blues because predominantly the sky is blue. Previously, all we did was move the highlights, but that's affecting the whole clip. So what we need to do now is to create a lock point to lock the line at that point, and so we can move here and it will pivot on that line. And so now when we move the blues and brighten the sky is changing color rather than the whole image. We're not restricted to the colors that you see. You could, if you want to, let's go to the red here with this drop down here, and we could select other colors, and you can see how this line now is changing color to indigo or blue, green, yellow. So if we'd now like to change one of these intermediate colors, we could either try and find it in here, or we could use the dropper, the eyedropper, and bringing the eyedropper over here, we can select that orange, and you'll see that at this vertical line here, that is that orange color directly. If we were to click on another color here, let's say the brown, but then we see the vertical line has moved to represent that tone of brown. And if we wanted to adjust that color, then we can click on there, and we should click either side to create lock points, and then that will give us the opportunity to change the tones of that color without too much affecting the other colors. So if we were to pop up to this hit here now, selecting on the clip and turn off that color curve, then there's the original clip from the camera, and there it is color corrected. you will get much more detail in the colour correction using the curves than you will with the colour wheels or the colour board. Let's now look at the hue and saturation curves. And we'll now go to the colour selector and select hue and saturation curves. So the top three of these curves are based on hue. The first lets you change the hue. The second changes the saturation in that hue. And then the third changes the luma of a specific hue. So by selecting the eyedropper, we'll select a particular colour. And we'll select on that colour and just drag a little. And you'll notice that we now have a control point. That control point has a vertical line showing that's the actual colour that you've selected. And there are also now two other control points that have been added, and this is the range that you've selected of that colour. So we can increase or decrease the range with these two other control points, but with the one on the actual colour, we can now completely change the colour of all of those. Now you'll notice that the roofs are also going as well. So if you just wanted to affect the colour of the flag, then it would be a good idea to use a mask, and you could use the draw mask over here and select that and cut it out effectively. So let's now move over to the other three curves, and the hue versus sat increases or decreases the saturation in a particular colour that you've selected. So let's select the sky. We'll click the eyedropper and then we'll drag over the sky to get a selection of the sky. There's a vertical line, same concept as the hue versus hue curve, and these points are the range. You could bring the range closer so that only this point had changed, and then now we can increase the saturation in that, or we can decrease the saturation for that particular hue. So the skies now are going quite a lot darker. If we go over to the master control now, and if we drag that down, then you've taken the colour out of everything other than the sky. So we'll put that back again. The third curve is the Luma Curve. So if we now come back to the eyedropper for the Luma and select a range as we did previously, and now you can brighten up the sky or darken it without affecting the yachts too much. But that's changed the colour of the sky quite dramatically. Let's toggle that on and off now. There's the original, and there is the sky with the hue and saturation correction. So that's changed the colour of the sky, but as you can see, that blue has also affected the colour of the harbour water. And so what we should do now is add a colour mask and separate these two. Now, in the process of doing this, what I'd like to do is to show you a different way to access the hue and saturation. And if we should go to the Effects tab and select Colour, and then you can see here that you've got hue and saturation curves. And what we're going to do in this particular exercise, we're going to take the hue and saturation curves, and you'll notice now in the inspector that we've got a new set of curves here. If we go to the top here, we can select a shape mask, and then if we just select this now and square it off a little bit and make it quite a bit bigger. And now what we need to do is to brighten this image. So we will go to the hue and luma and we'll select one of the yacht sails and we'll drag that through there. And now we can increase the saturation in that level, and you'll see that it's now started to change the colour of the sails. The water's still a little green, and so what we'll do now is to go to the hue versus hue, and we'll select some of the ocean, and we will try and change the colour of that slightly to blue it up a little. And so that's now dramatically changed the ocean and also the sky. So we've covered the top 3 curves there. Let's double click this now, and we'll now have the curve showing all the way through. And now we'll look at the 3 lower curves here. That's the Luma versus Sat, the Sat versus Sat, and the Orange versus Sat. Now the Luma versus Sat will change colour casts in the image. So again, we can select, and if we've got a slight cast here, let's say we feel that we've got a cast of this greenish colour, so we can desaturate that or saturate it to just change that cast there slightly. The Sat versus Sat curve effectively balances your saturation. So on the left-hand side, you can increase or decrease the least saturated areas or desaturate those areas. And on the right-hand side, you can saturate or desaturate the most saturated. And the bottom curve here is Orange versus Sat. And what that does is it gives us the ability to select the skin tones and to change those in an image. So we'll open up an image here with a face and select the skin tones. So here is a face for us to check the skin tones on. So you'll notice that I've got the vector slope showing on the left hand side, and that's selected here. So now let's bring in the mask, and what we're going to do with this is just to select a portion of the skin. And if we look here on the vector scope, that's way out of line. So if we now come in and add the saturation curves, so let's move down to the orange one, and if we select that there and select the skin, then that's the point that's been selected, and we can make changes to the saturation there. More importantly, we should come up to the hue versus hue and select that area, and now we can change that so that the skin matches the line on the vector scope. If we now take off our draw mask, and then there's the corrected skin. Now you'll notice that because of all of the other colours there, it's really hard to find that skin line, so that's the reason for putting in the draw mask. So that completes the series on colour correction using the colour scopes. I hope you've enjoyed these tutorials and that you've certainly learned something in the process. I look forward to seeing you in the next set of videos.